When I was a little girl, I had lots of questions to be answered. One of them was what really magic was. I remember once I got reply that to use the words to describe what the magic is, it's like using a screwdriver to cut the roast beef. I guess I got the answer. ViaMia shows and the intros, mainly the intros, are here to guide you to guess what my today's guest is. And I'm sure at this point you got it.
The ViaMia show is sponsored by the following people.
Recording studio, rehearsal space, voiceovers, video, filming and editing in New Westminster. For more information, fiascobro.com. Cuts and colors in uptown New Westminster. We welcome our stylist, George of Salon Caliente. For appointment, call 604-544-5104. Security and alarm systems since 1972. For more information, call 604-251-2121. Makeup services for television, film, and photo shoots. For more information, visit www.victoriawan.com.
How would I end up that introduction? We've had performers, magicians, we had a hypnotist, but we never had a magician with a message here. What kind of message and what kind of magician you can see, you can listen to my today's guest, Steve Dickson, magician with a message. Hello. Nice to see you. Steve, a magician with a message. I really like that when you told me that you like to be described that way. And like I said, what kind of message we will hear later. Because what I like to start, like a lot of people, me too, I like to be challenged. And I like to know, like from your perspective, why do you think we like the challenges, we like the surprises?
I think, you know, the reason why why people like this surprise is that we don't get many surprises anymore in life other than, oh, look, the cable or the telephone bill just went up $10.
That's a surprise.
There's a surprise, or, oh, I just got a parking ticket. So there's very few things other than magic that give you that genuine slack jaw, your jawbone touching your sternum type of, wow. And tomorrow's another day. You move on, right?
Yeah. What do you see in your spectator's mind when you perform?
Well, there's different types of people. There's the analytical people, the type of people that would do crossword puzzles, maybe chess, something like that. These people are looking at it as they need to know how it works. Certain professions do that too. Engineers like to know how things work. So you get people that it's a mystery that needs to be figured out. And then there's other people that take it as days gone by, and perhaps they remember when things were simpler and they didn't have to worry so much, and maybe this can't really happen, but right now it's happening, and I'm having a great time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do like to have a great time, right?
We do.
Again, I would like to, before we go any further, surprisingentertainment.com. That will be Steve's website.
Yes.
There's a lot of interesting stuff I found on that website. Before you do that, then we will carry on. I mentioned at the beginning that I like to be challenged. I don't know, would you be able to challenge me today?
Well, I might be able to. Just a second here. A lot of things, almost everything can be used in magic. Have you ever seen those people? They're mostly on TV, but they can actually change the shape. I'm sorry, that's not surprising.
How did you do that? Well, you know what, you let me watch your eyebrow.
I'll fix it for you. That's not magic, that's vandalism.
Okay.
You know, the worst part is that these things never really go back together again unless you do this adjustment here. I think that's okay. If it acts up, would you let me know?
What did you do?
I can go one step further if you could borrow your finger ring. Can I borrow your finger
Which
ring?
one would you like?
You choose.
Here.
That'd be perfect.
I'd like to
And this
have
is
it
a simple matter to put the ring on like this. Would you agree?
Very.
So this would be more interesting. Watch. Get it just right.
My ring is there.
Yeah, it's on there.
And you
There's
got it
only a
to
problem.
the
One
other
problem
side,
is
or?
it never quite goes up back. Wait.
What I said, I'd like to have
Oh, I
it
have
back.
another one right here.
You see, these are the things that you have to explain this to me. That's why you're sitting here.
Well, I'd like to explain it to you, but it's a union thing. You understand, right?
No, I don't.
I can't tell you. Magic's kind of a funny thing. It's like a joke. If you know the punchline, it's not really so funny. And, you know, often, you know, one reason why I would never tell is I think sometimes people get disappointed.
Of course, I know. I mean, there is no way that you can ever say to people, this is how I do that, this is how I create it, and when you see the ring, this is how it... I mean, it's not going to be interesting anymore, right?
No,
You like to... I don't want to use the word manipulate, but you like to play with people's mind and challenge them.
Yeah,
to make them think more.
To make them think, and also... I like dealing with smart people like you. See, the smarter that people are, or more worldly they are, the more likely they're going to fall for a magic stratagem, okay? Because we know how certain things work. So A goes to B, goes to C. I remove B, and you go, oh, what happened there? Because you know that was supposed to happen. So I think good magic, when you're entertained, it's because I've given you all the right information to get the wrong answer. But the information I gave you to get to it was correct. It's a bit heady, isn't it?
It is, but I like it.
Yeah.
But you don't sound simple, and I like it. So, yeah, you are definitely a creative person. You agree with me in that. Mostly creative people, like most other, they follow their ancestors. I don't know how it's in your case.
Yeah, for me, my grandparents, they had a show from 1927 to 1964, and they would travel, and this is back when the train used to travel, it would stop almost every 50 miles, Mia. So it would stop 50 miles, they'd do a show, then they'd finish the show, get back onto the train, go another 50 miles, do a show again. And in the winter months, when you're going through Winnipeg and that, some of the places they went to would be the same people that were at the show the night before, because there wasn't much TV at that time. So, you know, I can honestly say, growing up with my grandparents doing it, I was truly tricked into it. I didn't see it coming.
I just wanted to ask you if you're tricked into that.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't have any iPhones, right? So
No iPhones. Essentially, of course, television. I'm not that old. There was TV. But mostly, from the magic point of view, you would see magic shows. Like I grew up in East Vancouver, so I go to the Columbia Theatre, you go to the Orpheum Theatre. There would be magicians that would play at those theatres. If not starring all themselves in that theatre, they would be part of the movie. There would be a movie, a magician, and another movie. And I grew up in New West at the Columbia Theatre. They had Mandrake, which was a very famous magician, originally from New Westminster. And you could see, I guess, the tail end of vaudeville or whatever, you would see live entertainment more.
And when I spoke to you first time, you talked very highly about your grandparents, your grandfather. I just wonder, is it anything that you learned from your grandfather?
Yeah, there's effects that I'd learned from my grandfather, but there's also a way of thinking that I'd learned from my grandfather.
Yeah, I didn't really mean any magics or anything. There was
just some philosophies and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. I still use this today. You know, my grandfather said, you know, the best thing to do when you're performing magic, because I do a lot of close-up magic, which means that I'm as close as you and I are. I may do hospitality suites, I may do trade shows, banquets, things like that. He said, you know, people like people who are much like themselves. So if you're a nice guy that enjoys what he's doing, there's a good chance that they're going to like that, right?
Yeah.
So I try to, in my performances, I try to be a nice guy that enjoys what I do, and I just happen to do magic, right? And that was a good philosophy.
And it was in your genes. I can't, like, watching you, talking to you, I don't really know if, try to imagine you sitting, I don't know, be an accountant, for example. How long would you last?
Well, I wouldn't last too long, because right now I have a schedule. I get up at the crack of noon every day. I have coffee, do my computer work. I may watch some Maury Povich and then go lay down.
That's what artists do.
Because most of my stuff is evenings entertainment, right? So I'd have a hard time just on the structure of getting up at
5:30.
Well, having some guy tell me when I can eat a sandwich, you know, it would be difficult because I've done this for so long that.
And because you've been in the industry for quite a long time, would you be able to compare the magic then and now? When I said then, I don't mean a week ago. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. The difference I see, magic is moving along quite well now. It's actually becoming more and more high profile. This year's America's Got Talent winner is Matt Franco. He's a magician. He actually beat out singers and other people. You have David Blaine. So magic has a lot of exposure now where it didn't have exposure. The differences are almost the same now. You know, back in the day, magicians were rock stars. I don't know if you knew that. A magician would come into a town and do a show, and he was a rock star. People would come for miles to see this. Now we're getting a kind of, I guess, an as-like thing with people tuning into their TV for the David Blaine special or David Copperfield. That's one of my favorite. I grew up with Doug Henning. A lot of people don't remember him, the little hippie magician from Winnipeg. You know, but magic's doing well right now.
If we go back with the before questions I asked about your grandfather and what you learned, would you be able to demonstrate, for example, something today, what you learned from him?
Yes, I could show you something. My grandfather wasn't just a magician, but he also was a tinkerer. He would try to invent things. And this is an answer he had to kids tying shoelaces or trying to tie shoelaces for the first time. Of course, this isn't a shoelace, it's a little bit bigger so that you can see it better, right? But it's a piece of rope. And he thought that what would be a good idea is, you know, when kids tie their shoes, after about 15 minutes or so, you look down and this is what you see. He thought it would be a good idea if you could just take the ends off the shoelace, and then you wouldn't have that problem.
I really would like to see what would children think when you just did now.
Well, there's Velcro now, so I think this is redundant. But, you know, he thought it'd be a good idea is whenever they wanted to take the shoes off, they could put the ends.
And now you explain how you did this. I know you won't, but...
No, I can't. Again, back to the union thing.
Okay.
But look, if I tie it in a knot, which sometimes children do, right?
Yeah.
And end up with a big knot, he would include these scissors, see? And then you could actually cut right through.
What was that? I didn't see any scissors.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, well, hang on. Let me show you again. See, they're very sharp. You have to be careful.
Now I want to see your scissors. Oh. I can't.
But then that would give you two pieces,
You know
and
what?
chances are they wouldn't be the same length, so...
Let me just think about this. Can I borrow this for
Yeah,
you?
you can. Here, let me put it back together.
And while I'm playing with this, because I need probably a minute if you don't mind, we'll step in a break and I'll see you with Steve.
The ViaMia show is sponsored by the following people.
Recording studio, rehearsal space, voiceovers, video, filming and editing in New Westminster. For more information, fiascobro.com. Cuts and colors in uptown New Westminster. We welcome our stylist, George of Salon Caliente. For appointment, call 604-544-5104. Security and alarm systems since 1972. For more information, call 604-251-2121. makeup services for television, film, and photo shoots. For more information, visit www.victoriawan.com.
We're back with Steve Dickson, magician with a message, and what kind of message we're going to hear soon. We've seen some performances. We're going to see one more. I would like to, if you don't mind, towards the end of the show. Again, Steve's website is surprisingentertainment.com. That's correct, right?
That's right, surprisingentertainment.com.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, but I know I'm not going to get any answer, how you create your magic, because you won't tell me.
I can't tell you the actual method, but I can tell you a little bit as to how. Myself and many magicians, we're standing on the shoulders of giants. Okay, there's many, many magicians that came before us. There's printed material. Magicians have lecturers where they come to town and lecture. There's secret societies. There's one here in Vancouver where we get together and toss around ideas. So I got a lot to draw from.
Mm-hmm. Well, the reason I ask is I just recently talked to a composer who composes the music of 50s, like that kind of stuff he's bringing back to the classic standards era.
Yes.
And I asked him in these times, because he didn't even live in 50s, that how come he's coming with that idea and those kind of tunes. And he said that he just closes his eyes, he's sitting behind piano, and suddenly he pictures Frank Sinatra in a corner or Ella Fitzgerald standing at the piano, and he surrounds himself with that atmosphere, and suddenly the tune is here. So I just want to know, do you have to do something similar? Are you surrounding yourself with something in your mind?
Yeah, like I was saying before, magicians stand on the shoulders of giants. You know, there's many magicians that perhaps the public doesn't know that are innovators, creators. Not too many of us can create from the genesis. Okay, from the very beginning. But a lot of us are able to take something that someone has done before, they hand the torch, and then you add your stamp and your embellishment, and you come up with something that's uniquely different than the original, but it is taken from an original, yes.
Yeah, I know. I learned from you, and I think it's on your website, you used to have a store in New Westminster.
I did. I used to have a magic store in New Westminster, but I'm okay now.
Because you don't have it?
No, I had a store. It was a lot of fun. But, you know, what I did is I took something that is a passion of mine, and I kind of turned it into a job.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what we were talking about at the beginning. I had to open the store at 10 o'clock. I had to close the store at 5. You know, it was fun, but I truly like performing better, and having the store sometimes would make it unable for me to travel or interfere with the work. But it had jokes, the old jokes when you were a kid, the snapping gum, the whoopee cushions, stuff like that. So I had a lot of fun.
You know, when I was browsing your website, there was something very interesting I found. Well, I guess that would be that message. Civility, courtesy, and all the stuff. You bringing this to your performances?
Yes, again, just going back to my grandfather with the people who are much like themselves. He also spoke a lot about civility, the very things that we need to do on a daily basis just to get along. Open the door for somebody. You have 49 items, I have 1, you let me go. These things help us get along. I interject that with my magic. Again, just trying to be a nice guy that enjoys what he's doing. If I approach a table, I greet the people. I'm able to have a conversation. I'm able to interact with the people. I might say, for instance, "Gee, that's a nice ring. Where did you get that?" Open up the discussion. I don't think that there's...
what kind of response you're getting?
I get a good response, you know, because I think people... miss sometimes seeing a gentleman, you know, that they get to speak to. I would never say anything to make you feel bad about yourself. I have no effects where you become the actual laughing part of the effect. We laugh together. But it's what I'm trying to do as well is I don't think there's always a need for irrelevant or say street magic. It has its place, but I think when you move it indoors, a lot of events that I do, people have taken the day off to go get their dry cleaning or whatever. So it's an evening for them for a corporate trade show or a banquet or whatever. So they also, I think people don't mind being entertained or fooled, I guess, by a nice guy. And that's all I try to do is use civility in magic. Here, take the card, show it to your friends. Oh, that won't take long. I would never say something like that. You know, well,
you do something in your magic what we should see on a daily basis in our lives.
Yeah, I wish that that is a pet peeve of mine. I guess is incivility. It's rampant, you know, and I just try to introduce that in my magic. How, yes sir, no sir, how are you today? How did your day go? And try to have a conversation. Yeah. And while this is happening, some pretty interesting things are going on.
Yeah. Well, I noticed these things, and I really like the website again, surprisingentertainment.com.
Surprisingentertainment.com.
Where we can hear about and see and read about Steve. I know that there were some awards in your life as well. Would you be able to talk about it a little bit? It's
yes.
Not that I know how you feel to talk about yourself, but I think it's important to know.
Yes, I've won many awards. I won the 2010 Pacific Coast Association of Magicians gold medal for close-up magic, which is competing with people from Mexico all the way to Japan. It happened to be on the Mariner of the Seas cruise ship. But you're probably thinking, what have I done lately?
What is close-up magic?
Close-up magic is magic that's usually done. In days gone by, it was it's derived from what was called parlor magic or drawing room magic. People would have a dinner or whatever, and after they go retire to the parlor, someone would play the piano, someone might play the violin or whatever. And there was drawing room or parlor magic, which was smaller, intimate stuff that you and I can do or do for groups of 2, groups of 3. And most of the stuff happens either in your hands, you get to see the object, and you can never get a better view because you're so close up. So it's an intimate connection when you're doing your magic.
And I know that you do other things you using your skills, what you were just talking about civility, all these things. You don't only perform magic. You do some mentoring or coaching?
Yes, I do some mentoring. Magic still can be passed on from generation to generation, and the best way to learn magic would be through mentorship. I have a young student that incidentally just won the same award I won in 2010. He won it in 2014, and it was at the convention was hosted at the Executive Inn in Coquitlam. So I got to see some results with that, and that's a feel-good thing for me as well.
Yes.
Also, I try to practice social responsibility. Okay, meaning that I have this job that I like to do. It's not an awful lot of work physically, so I try to give back. I do camps through the Delta School Board during spring break for kids. I've also did a show for Share the Magic last year and the year before. In September, we had a show at the Terry Fox Theater, myself and 7 other people. And it was a sold-out house, 600 tickets. We were able to raise and present a check for BC Children's Hospital for $10,000.
Oh yeah, so that's one of the social responsibility. What you are part of that you do, and we can find it on the website. surprisingentertainment.com.
Yeah, because social responsibility in magic or in entertainment can be easy to give back because it's a gift that people of entertainment, right?
I love to listen to, I like to see something more before I will unfortunately have to say goodbye to you. Do you think that you can demonstrate something or show something that I haven't seen?
Yeah, I have something that you haven't seen because you may have seen one like it, but you haven't seen this one. This is...
So far I haven't figured out the rope, so
just became disconnected here. This is a magic wand. Take a look at it. It's a genuine one. It's not a dollar store one. The wood is Brazilian zebra wood. The tips are metal. It was my grandfather's. It's now mine. Let me show you what it does. Listen. See, that's a silver, half a dollar. They're worth about $20 now. Did you know that? Listen, if I wanted to make this disappear, I couldn't do it myself. I'd need to use the magic wand. Look. But that's okay. I could tell you weren't ready. I have another one. One more time.
Does that magic wand work for everybody? If I hold it, would I be able to do anything?
I think so. Wave it over the coin.
I want to find something in my hand. I guess I won't, right? Yeah. That's what happens to me.
Wait,
that's not a magic. I lose money right away.
No, don't move.
Oh.
Wasn't that
that's
eerie?
where I keep it. I didn't know.
Here, let's just cut to the chase. If I get rid of the whole thing, can you see this okay?
Very much.
Because they come in two sizes.
Oh.
Feel how heavy that is.
Okay, I have nothing else to say. The only thing what I can do, because you will have so many questions after this, I thank you. You see, I lost my speech. Please sign my cup because you can't leave without signature on this one.
Sure, I'd love to.
Steve, thank you very much. Surprisingentertainment.com would be Steve Dickson's website. I want to thank him. I had a really good time. Hopefully he will reveal what he was doing with us today. And now all of you, I will see you again next week.
Thank you very much.